2008 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Evo 10. I believe it's a, what'd you say, 64, 66?
Yep.
And it makes about, how much?
Makes about 900 right now.
900, okay. I'm gonna try to do a little pulls. It's,
back in 2012 is when it got its biggest build. That's when the 6466 initially went on the car. Back in then, this December of 2012, it was making 714 all-wheel horsepower on Mustang dyno at Booston. It was tuned by Devon. The car then came down here. I was on a bad batch of ethanol. I didn't test it, and this was back before the car was on flex fuel tune, so I had no way of knowing other than getting one of those little test vials, and it wasn't what the car was tuned for. So I was racing a Mustang of all cars, and I ended up blowing one of the cylinders. So it was at that point that I tore the motor apart, and we replaced pistons and made it a 10:5:1 compression ratio, so there was a little bit more room for the motor to grow.
Real quick, doesn't it?
And I changed the wheels because I was losing traction on the car all the way until I hit 4th gear, and I needed a stickier tire. So I ended up getting RPF ones, which I had originally, and I just put some NT01s on them.
Were they 10.5 plus 15?
10.5 plus 15.
Yeah, that's pretty common setup for Evos, and they're good wheels, you know.
Right. Well, the tire's 10.5. The wheel is actually 9.5.
Oh, okay.
That's what gives it the meaty, you know, drag look. But
sale.
Yep,
right?
Yeah, car's for sale right now. I'm trying to get into a NSX.
And how much are you asking for the car?
35 right now, and that could go down. It could go up. I have a couple more things I want to do to the car to make it pristine, but. Like a drug, man. You chase it and you chase it and you get used to it. So, you know, you say, oh, 500's gonna be enough, and then I'll stop there, and you get to 500 and you're like, oh, okay, well, 500's cool, but I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
And
you get used to it quick.
Right, and every level of horsepower that you go to, you're gonna get accustomed to it eventually. So you have to mentally tell yourself before you go into your next car, okay, this is where I'm gonna draw the line.
Yep. I actually put this shift knob on here to remind me to stop grenading transmissions. So that's a good reminder. That's funny. It got expensive quick. Yeah, it definitely gets expensive quick, that's for sure. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's actually a heads-up display, which is really neat, which I've never seen before. I guess you said you got off of Amazon?
Yep, yeah, you can get them off Amazon.
And what does it plug into? Like the OBD2? Okay.
Yep.